Fanthorpe, and I'll be your host as usual. So here we are. We are going to be talking about Shopify today, a Shopify guided tour and Q&A session with Nikki from Shopify. So I hope you folks have brought your questions with you today because we're going to get those answered at the end of this session. Now, if you're not familiar with how we run these sessions, you can drop your questions in the Q&A function, the chat function, or the comments section, depending on what platform you are streaming from or watching from. Okay, I will be checking them throughout the session. We will get your questions answered. So do make sure you pop them in there because somebody might be out there just a little bit too shy to pop a question in, and you're doing them a favor. And we love that here in Aotearoa, just sharing the aroha, the love. And we are here also in Te Reo Māori week, so language week. So yeah, welcome. What a wonderful week we have here. So Nikki, thank you so much for joining us today, stepping in for Julian. We're really grateful. We know that your time is valuable, and we want to welcome you, a nice warm welcome here from us in Aotearoa.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I am really excited to be here. I'll just go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah, I'm going to stop my video and let you drive.
Wonderful.
And I'll go and check and make sure everything's working.
Perfect. I'll see you in a bit.
Cool.
Awesome. So first of all, I would like to apologize. The session was billed as being led by Julian Bartram, your New Zealand community manager, or as some of you may know him, the Shopify guy. But I hope to serve as an adept replacement. So who the heck am I to be here speaking with you? Well, my name is Nikki Thibodeau. I'm a senior community operations manager at Shopify, and I sit at the center of our merchant education and community team, linking together different functional areas and enabling scalable growth through tools, insights, technology, and process, which is really just like a fancy or boring way, I'll let you decide, of saying that I help enable all of our community teams globally to show up at things like this. So bringing you the right content and the right tools. I also live in Canada. Please don't hold that against me. There may be some regional nuances specifically to New Zealand that I may not know the answer to, but our Shopify team will be able to help you after today if there does happen to be something that I cannot answer. But what is Shopify? Well, we are a cloud-based multi-channel e-commerce platform designed to help you run your business. So Shopify allows you to design, set up, manage your stores across multiple sales channels, including web, mobile, social, marketplaces, brick and mortar locations, so not just e-commerce, but commerce in general. And of course, if you're going to markets like pop-up shops. And running a business means staying on top of lots of moving parts. And Shopify makes this easier for merchants by providing one mission control for their businesses. And we call our customers merchants because you are the merchants of your business. And from your Shopify admin, you can keep an eye on all components of your business, including processing and shipping orders, managing inventory, running ads, and ensuring things are running smoothly. A little snapshot of what we cater to. So we cater to businesses of all sizes, from side hustles to multi-million-dollar corporations. We say that Shopify is suitable for most businesses, but not all. We don't want to claim to be your one-stop shop for absolutely everything. Also, welcome to Hazel, our dog guest today. We have over 1 million merchants in over 175 countries using our platform, which whenever I say that stat just boggles my mind. And consumers have purchased over, in USD, $356 billion worth of product from our Shopify merchants. So the people who use our platform to sell online, $356 billion. And we now have actually, I didn't update this slide, but over 7,000 employees making commerce better for everyone. Now, apologies, this slide is a little North American centric, but here's a quick snapshot of some of the brands you'll find on Shopify. You'll probably recognize a few of these, maybe even shop at some of them. Definitely Allbirds would probably pop out to you on this slide, but it just goes to show that there are a lot of big brands who trust Shopify to run their businesses. And a little bit of a snapshot of New Zealand. So retail's center of gravity amid the novel coronavirus pandemic has shifted. And I think we all know that by now. For 2020, online shopping in New Zealand grew by 25%. Oh, it's crazy. And more than 306,000 Kiwis shopped online for the first time last year, including many older consumers who'd never felt the need to try e-commerce before. And now 2.3 million, or 52% of adult Kiwis aged 16 plus are shopping online. 2.13 million. And the old adage of, it used to be, if you're not outselling, you're being outsold. And I think that we need to update that too. If you're not online selling, then you're probably being outsold, because 71% of all online spend in New Zealand has been with local retailers, as they're keen to support local. And we've actually found that across the globe is true, that there's a lot of keenness to shop local and support local. All right, let's go ahead and go on a guided tour of Shopify. So let's grab here. Okay, so this is what you'd see if you logged in, you set up a store. This is exactly what you'd see. And we have 14-day free trials for you to just hop on in, free of charge. There's a little few things that I've added before today, just so that this went a little bit smoother and I could go through a little bit more with you. But as you can see, we've got a menu down the left-hand side, and we're going to go all the way straight down to the bottom into settings. Now, I'm starting in settings because I'm going to be honest, this is the most tedious part. And I think that, like, while we all still have energy right now, let's go through the part that has a little bit of more detail. And I'm a visuals gal, so I don't like this as much as going through and like theming my store. So if we take a look here, you can see, let's start in users and permissions. Now, if we stop into users and permissions, you can see that there are a few of us here. Julian Bartram, who I mentioned off the bat, and then I'm here as well. And if we wanted to add another person, say you have a new staff member starting and you want them to be able to edit orders or products, I'm going to have a few less permissions than Julian would, because I am not the owner of the store. Julian is. And so you can see he's given me a lot of ability to edit on the store. So this is the most ability you can have as someone who's not the store owner. But let's go ahead and say that we'd like our new employee, we'd like them to be able to edit orders, export orders, create draft orders, and export those, and then edit products. And let's just call them my sister. And Renee is going to test out her functionality here. And so you can see this gives, you can choose which apps you're able to restrict them to, which if you only want someone doing customer service, or you want to give them access to be able to redesign the website itself, you can actually restrict, which enables them to focus and do their job, but also it helps with security for you. It gives you peace of mind that no one's going to be poking around and then making a mistake, and which affects everybody and everything. And so you just give them the right permissions for what they're supposed to be doing. This is actually pretty new functionality. It used to be a lot less granular than this. And so I always get really excited to show this part because it's new, and this really helps, especially when you're developing your customer service teams. And I'll show you a bit about that when we hit up the orders section as well. All right, so you just click send invite, and that invite would be sent out to Renee. Let's go back to our settings and hop into something else. So you can see here plans. Let's go ahead and when you start on a plan, it's all billed in USD. You can see I'm on a staff business plan because Shopify encourages all staff to have businesses. So we're going to go ahead and click show all features there, and it'll take you to this plan page. And so for me, it defaulted to our Canadian page because I'm in Canada, but you'll see very much similar things. And so you see there's the basic plan, Shopify plan, and advanced Shopify plan. And there's actually two more, which I'll get to at the end, but let's go ahead and click on show plan features. So I actually know of quite a few Shopify business or merchants that use our platform, selling millions of dollars, and they still use the basic plan. So it doesn't mean that you grow your plan as you grow your business. It just depends on what features will really help you grow your own business. And with our features, there's just a couple of things that each basic Shopify advanced plan do that can help you along with your business. So I always say, don't switch to something unless you feel a pain point or you notice that you can save some money. So let me dive into those a little bit. So you can see here, all of them get the online store. There's unlimited products, so you're not restricted to how many products you can have on your store, dependent on which plan you're on. You can have as many as you can dream up. And then staff accounts, this is one spot, but there is a difference. So you get 2 staff accounts on your basic plan, and then you get 5 for the Shopify plan and 15 for the advanced Shopify plan. There's also always 24/7 support. They are real humans on the other side of the keyboard or of the phone who are going to help you. We have quite a large group of support in New Zealand itself. It's one of our main hubs. And so if you call, you might actually talk to someone who you know. We've actually had a lot of people. Don't worry, I know how big New Zealand is. I'm not inferring that you all know each other. Okay, so moving right along, there's sales channels. So this would be what I had mentioned before, where you would sell. So this could be your online store. This could be on social. It could be in your brick and mortar. So those are the sales channels available to you. Inventory locations. So say you have a warehouse or two and you want to track where that inventory is. You start with up to 4 on basic, which as you're starting out, usually you don't need more than that. And then let's just keep going down. So the biggest thing that's a difference on each plan that is very good to know are the reports. So there are some very basic reporting that is available on the basic plan. Again, I've told you that $1 million company can actually operate on the basic plan. But if you really like spreadsheets and you really like to delve into the deep crunch of numbers and data, then you'd want to go and move up to either our standard and advanced plan. And if you go onto our help center, you can see the difference between what kind of reports you can have on each plan. And then third-party calculated shipping rates. So this would be, say you have an account with UPS and you get better rates than a regular UPS account. You could plug your UPS account in. I find that a lot of people actually don't need this anymore because this will display the rates for your customers at checkout. But a lot of people don't need this anymore because they're adopting the free shipping or a flat rate shipping. And so it used to be pretty big when I first started at Shopify, but I find that it's actually not really that big of a deal to not have. But if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out. All right, and so we have some Shopify shipping discounts. So of course we pass on some discounts to you. We have our Shopify payments. So Shopify payments is available in New Zealand. I highly suggest that you get on Shopify payments if you can. I know there's some restrictions that obviously we can't have you selling firearms or, the really harmful goods. We can't have you selling that on Shopify payments. But if you are not selling those types of goods, there's a list, of course, on our help center. But you can actually be on Shopify payments. And one of the reasons why it's important to is that if you're not, see here, this transaction fee, if not using Shopify payments. So on the basic plan, it's 2%, 1%. So I actually know Julian in his business, he's actually moved up to the advanced plan just because he can't use Shopify payments because he sells contact lenses, which is like a pharmaceutical, is deemed a pharmaceutical. Anyway, so there's always going to be a reason to move up or to look into moving up, but you don't necessarily have to. And then one last thing that I wanted to point out was sometimes if you're using Shopify payments, one of the other reasons to move up if you don't care about reporting is the credit card rates. So you can see here, it's displaying Canadian credit card rates. Again, I'm sorry, I'm in Canada. So you can see here, it says 2.9% plus 30 cents CAD. And if you move up, it goes 2.7%, 2.4%. And depending on your margins of like the scale of what you're processing, it might actually be that you pay. So if you paid the $200 extra USD, you would still be making more back from that 0.5%. So you'll want to take a look at that. But on the we have point of sale and global selling. You can sell in 133 currencies, which wasn't possible when I first started Shopify. So I love that we've got that. That's on every plan. Sell in multiple languages, you can sell up to 5. And then there's some like international stuff. So if you've gone global, that's kind of a time when you're going to be looking into the advanced plans. But what I say, start basic and then come back when you are when you find a pain point. All right, so that's enough about that. Let's go back into our settings here and let's look at sales channels. So sales channels are exactly what I've mentioned. They are if you wanted to sell on Facebook, on Instagram, if you wanted to add your point of sale, those types of things. Your files, this is how you upload, you can upload your logos, your product images, you can upload them in there. You can upload, say you have a product that has like an instruction sheet, you could upload that in there and link it off your site. This is all for your images, videos, and documents. Gift cards. So I know you know how to use gift cards. I know you've gotten them. You can actually enable Apple Wallet and set gift card expiry dates in here. Let's go into notifications though. That's really important for you to see. So this is where you can edit your email notifications that go out to your customer. So they're already preset. We already have them done for you. But one thing that I would highly recommend you come in and do is to customize your order notifications. So if you just click here where it says customize, you'll see that it opens up and you'll be able to upload your logo here on the right-hand side, and you can choose your accent color. So our brand has kind of like a gold tone because we're selling honey. And so we could choose the correct accent color, click save, and we'd be on our way. These order templates are built in HTML. If you don't know how to use HTML, send us a chat. And if you wanted to edit them, send us a chat. We can help you there. Not to worry. They all look pretty great though. So if you were to go into one and you just wanted to preview, see on this right-hand side, there's a preview button. This HTML looks kind of scary, but I promise you it's okay. So you click preview, it'll just open up a new window. There we are. And it shows you what it would look like. So that's what it looks like right now. Beautiful. All right, and then if we scroll down the page, one of the cool things here, so it has all of the different types of emails already preloaded. You don't have to fiddle around with that at all. But if you come down here, you can see staff order notifications. So say we wanted to add myself, or you know how we added Renee at the start? So she won't pop up here, but you can see if we wanted her to get the email notifications when we got a new order, we could either look and say that we want all new web orders, all new retail orders from our new North location, or I'm just going to put all, and then we just click add an order notification. And then every time we get a new order, I'm going to get an email, and I'm going to be able to deal with those and pick and pack. So that's really important. But don't forget to customize and put your logo in there. All right, moving right along. So you can see here, we've got locations. So this is where you would go and say you had multiple locations that you're shipping from or you're holding your inventory in. I actually like to tell the story of my friend Carly. She sells earrings, and she has she finally got her very first order from a local retailer. So she used to only sell online, but she actually doesn't get paid for them up front. So she wants to know what stock is actually at that shop. So she keeps some information in her locations. And so she can actually have people pick up from that store if they are available at the store. All right, taxes. So let's go into taxes. Taxes are actually pretty easy to set up. I know that in New Zealand, which is not true for Canada, but I know that you like to have all of your price include tax. So you'll want to come in and make sure that that's checked off, because it's not checked off automatically. And then you just want to make sure that it's set up. So you just click setup, add New Zealand, and you can come in and manage if there's anything special about how you're collecting. All right. Taxes. We went past that pretty quickly. You can tell how I feel about taxes. All right, here we go. So let's go back to our settings. So shipping and delivery. So you can actually get really granular about your shipping. One of the things I mentioned kind of off the hop was about how a lot of people have started using free shipping as an incentive to move through to conversion on the online store. A lot of times, if you're a small business, you can't necessarily pass on the shipping to, like, you can't, absorb the shipping. So you'll want to make sure before you set up your products that you've thought about your shipping and delivery strategy, because you can either price your products in a way that it absorbs some of that shipping cost, or you can figure out whether or not you're going to charge. I would recommend, if you are going to charge a flat rate fee. That way you can advertise that on your store. You can set like a limit. So say, if, $50 and over, people don't have to pay shipping, but maybe it's like $7.50 if they do, and that way you don't have, or they're under the $50. So you can see here their shipping rates. Let's go into manage rates, and I'll just show you what's possible. So you can see here that this is added for all products, not in other profiles, which means that you can actually set up profiles per products of how much shipping is. I don't want to confuse you, so we won't go too much in detail, but if you have any specific questions around shipping, please feel free to reach out to our support team or to Julian, which I'll give the link to after. And so if you go, you can see here that you can set up different shipping settings dependent on the shipping zone. So there's the North Island and the South Island. And for the South Island, because we're in the South Island, or the company is, it's all free. But if we have to ship to the North Island, we actually charge. So you can see here, free shipping, $50 and up. But if you want a signature, it's $8.50. And if you want a standard New Zealand courier, which takes 2 to 4 working days, this is any any price that you spend, or any amount that you spend, under $50, it'll cost you $7.50. This could be used as an incentive to up your order cart value. So we'll go ahead and just click add rate so you can see how easy it is to add a rate. So you can set up your own rates. You just name it. So let's just say, and then you can choose like $9 or $900. We're not going to add this. And then you can add a condition. So you can see here this rate name. This is what's going to come up at checkout. So if we go add conditions, you can see that you can either do this based on an item's weight, which you can add on the product screen, or based on an order price. So as you saw, we did it with $50 and up, was free. And so you can just do it that way. Shipping can get pretty intricate if you're shipping to a lot of different places. If you're just starting online, I would suggest trying a local strategy first, because remember upfront, at the beginning of the presentation, I was telling you that people like to, there's 71% of online shoppers in New Zealand supported local. And so if you start there, you can verify your market is there, and then you can start adding the intricacies of shopping online. All right, and so let's scroll down. You can see here, someone had asked in a previous session about shipping for their giftware, if you could just set up for a couple products. And so we had gone ahead and just shown that you can set up for just a couple products. And so that's what that is there. You can set up local delivery. So say you wanted to set it up so that someone in a radius near you, so you can set that up, and you can set what price it is for someone to come hand deliver. Excuse me. You can also offer local pickup. And so say you have a retail location, or one of my favorites is here where I live in British Columbia, Canada, we have this local scone maker, and she does pop-ups where she shows up to a random spot, and you can come and buy from her. But you can actually, she sets up a local pickup spot, and so it goes through Shopify, and you can buy online. And then that way she doesn't have to process any orders on the spot. They're all purchased up front. It's actually like a fun thing locally in my city to try to get a box of Sydney scones. And so, yes. Awesome. Okay, and then there's a lot of other things you can do here, like custom order fulfillment I wanted to show you. So on this test store, we sell honey, but I don't actually stock the honey. Bob's Buzz does. And so Bob at Buzzy Bees will get an email every time that particular product sells. And so he can fulfill it for us. And so if you say you had a third-party fulfillment center and you wanted them to get the email instead of, one of your employees to get the email about a particular order, you can set that up in your custom fulfillment. Okay, excellent. So let's go ahead and come back to settings. Let's talk about legal. Another fun one, like taxes. So in legal, we actually have templates that we have prepared for you. They're really in depth. I would just click this replace with template button, and then it'll pop in this template. And then you can take a look, scroll through, make sure that it's applicable to your business, and go ahead and go. The only one that we don't have a template for is actually our shipping policy, because shipping policies are so unique to each business that we recommend that you pop that in there yourself. But you can see here, there's terms of service, there's a privacy policy, and there's the refund policy. See, just as fast as taxes. Let's get past legal. Awesome. So if we take a look here, we are at checkout. So the reason why I'm taking the time to go through all of these ad nauseum is because it is really important for you to take a look and make sure that either the default settings are up to snuff, what you'd like, or you have to change it so that it works especially for your business and your customers. And so it is a little tedious, but do set aside the time to go through the settings and make sure that they are what you'd like. All right, so checkout. Here you can upload your store's logo, change colors and fonts and more. This is actually to customize the checkout, which we will actually do in our theme section next. Hopefully you stick around for that. But let's talk about customer accounts. So here you can either set it up so that they can check out as guests. I don't recommend that because then you're not keeping their information, which you will want for email marketing. If I don't recommend accounts are required, because that way, unless you have some sort of membership you're running, it's like friction at the checkout. So I would recommend all accounts are optional. The customer contact. To receive shipping updates, you do want the customers can choose to add a phone number to receive email updates. You want them, phone number or email to receive shipping updates. You want them to opt into that kind of thing. And then the Shop app is actually an app that Shopify's developed. It's because you know how we're going to talk a little bit about Shopify payments a little bit more, but Shopify payments and Shop app enables a lot of checkouts around the globe. And if someone has downloaded the Shop app and enabled the Shop app, then I was just saying shop a whole bunch of times, but if it's been enabled, then it's actually a really fast, frictionless checkout. And so if they've checked out on a Shopify store before, who's enabled this too, then it'll pop up and it'll just send them a code and it'll fill in, auto-populate all of their information. And hopefully you've experienced this already because you've been shopping on Shopify stores. For the form options, you can see there's quite a bunch of options here. I would recommend that you require first and last name, because the first name is the sweetest word in the English language to the person with that first name. So you want to make sure you're collecting it for your email marketing. And then all of these other things are up to you, what you want to require. Tipping options at checkout. So there are businesses that require tipping. So just choose this and toggle it on if you need it. And then let's see what else. Oh, email marketing. So show a sign up option at checkout. Just be careful. So in New Zealand, you have no laws around the pre-select the sign up option. In Canada, we have that a customer has to opt in to email marketing. And so make sure that wherever you are, that you are checking the right box. But if you are in New Zealand, click that pre-select the sign up option, because we want them to uncheck that they don't want email marketing rather than opt in if possible. And then abandoned checkouts, you don't need an extra app or anything. We send those out for you. So an abandoned checkout is when someone goes, adds stuff to their cart, and then doesn't actually purchase. And so you can set that it automatically sends it out, and then how long after they've gone through checkout that it sends it out. Excellent. You can actually change your checkout language to be displayed in the language of your choosing. Let's get out of these settings and go to the very last one that, actually we'll do two more. Okay, quickly, I'm looking at the time. So payments. So payments is how you get paid. This is monumentally important. So you're going to go into the payments page. You can see here it has a flag. Only account owners can edit this information. That's because I'm not the account owner. Julian is. But isn't that such great security that I can't edit this page? Because if you add your credit card or your banking information, you don't want your staff to be able to change it to their banking information. So this is set up like that on purpose. So if you go into your Shopify payments, again, you just add your bank account and you'd be able to just literally be done like that. It's such an easy step-by-step to be able to set up Shopify payments. There's also the option, you can see here, it says Shopify payments is running on test mode. And test mode means that Shopify has this ability for you to test out all of the different types of cards that could be used on your store. So just when you're enabling test mode, there's usually beside any part of Shopify, you'll see that there are these little links, and these link out to help docs. So if you have any questions, click the help doc and you'll be good to go. Let's talk about alternative ways of payments. So if you wanted to choose a different payment method, say you couldn't use Shopify payments, there are several different ways to accept payments. There's also manual payment methods, and Julian, just to be cheeky, showcases here that Moonrocks is a way that you can pay for this honey. So if you wanted to buy with Moonrocks, and if you were to click edit, which I cannot do because I am not an admin, or not the store owner, sorry, then you would see that he's entered all the information you could collect. My favorite to do for manual payment methods is to collect high fives when I'm doing a test store. But anyway, let's keep going. So payments, you're setting those up almost immediately when you get done because you want to get paid. And then to round off our settings section, general is just you enter your name, you enter your email, your store address, the currency which you would like to have be settled in. So what you want to get paid in. Perfect. Okay, boring stuff is over. I see we've got like 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and hop into online store. So you see on the left-hand side, we've got themes. This is going to open up and show us another way to describe themes would be templates. So this is kind of like what your store looks like to customers and templates for you to achieve that. So you can see here that Julian has set up a store using what we call our debut theme. This was our bread and butter theme for the longest time, but we actually have another theme that we just launched literally beginning of the month called Dawn. And I'll go through and I'll show you kind of what's different, but let me hop in. You see this green button, customize? Let's hop in. And now this is our theme editor. So as you can see, I hope it doesn't look too overwhelming, but you can see that you can edit the theme here. And you can see it looks like a website, and there's some great QE essentials on here. But one of the cool things about this is if you see on the top bar, there's this little icon. You can click it and you can actually toggle between what would be seen on a desktop, what would be seen full screen, and what would be seen on mobile. And about 60 to 70% of people shop on mobile. So I would actually recommend, it might feel really awkward at first, but I would actually recommend for you to toggle to mobile and design for mobile first, because that's the majority of your customers are going to be coming to your site on mobile, and then you know exactly what it would look like and what to change. One thing about Shopify themes is that we've tested it. If it's out there, we've tested it. And so if you get to a point where you're like, oh, I can't do X, we probably tested it and decided that it's actually not great for e-commerce. And that's why we don't have it as an option. So you can always chat with us and see if what you can't do is recommended or not. But usually the reason why we don't have it as an option is so that you can't make that mistake that many have made before. There's theme settings here at the bottom. And theme settings is where you're going to be able to set, remember how there was that checkout where you could change there it is, where you could change the logo and your colors. So for colors, I always like to say, if you're just choosing your colors, like you haven't been a brand for long and you're just in setup mode, you'll want to make sure that you are choosing 3 colors max, and white is already a color, because white on e-commerce stores is actually one of the best converting stores. And then you can choose 2 other colors, but then I kind of recommend black. And then that literally leaves you with 1 color. Okay. And then there's typography, which is fonts, same kind of rule. 2 maximum. You don't want to clutter the look. And this is where you'd put your social media. You can theme your checkout and everything. Let's go back out and let me show you Dawn. So we haven't yet customized this one, but you can see here, if you wanted to change the image banner, you would just go in and let's go. You can see talk about your brand, and you can actually drag and drop these around. So if you wanted the button to be above the call to action text. And then if you see here on the right-hand side, it has a select image. So we've got some that are preloaded, but we actually also see this free images. You can look and search. So we sell honey. So if we search for bees, you can see what comes up. And you can, these are free commercial use images from Shopify that you can load onto your store. And you can always take a, say you wanted to grab one of these. So this is what makes up your homepage. So you see header, announcement bar, image banner, rich text. So this is the rich text here. If you wanted this to be above your image banner, you just grab, drag and drop. And one of the coolest things about Dawn is that if you go to your pages, you can actually, let's go products, default product. You can actually, you didn't used to be able to, if you're just starting in e-commerce, actually, you are starting at a great time, because before it used to only be what the theme would allow. And now you can actually do the same thing. You can drag and drop. You can have product recommendations first. You can put the buy button ahead of the text, et cetera, et cetera. The world is your oyster. This does take some time. I would say set aside a good hour. But one of the biggest things about designing your store that I recommend is don't let something that you can't figure out stop you. Write it down and then go ahead and open up the next thing on your list. And then when you've got 2 or 3 things that you can't figure out, I would suggest chatting in or calling into our support and getting them to help you through it. That way, you never have to be frustrated. You can just set it, forget it, move on, and go ahead. Let's go ahead and talk about orders really quickly. I'm going to try to wrap this tour in about 3 to 6 minutes so we can get to some questions. So if you're, I know that questions are being collected, but go ahead and keep on asking them. So you can see there's some orders in here. If we hop in, actually, let's go ahead and hop into this guy. So you can see here, this is Julian's ordered something. And this is a very minimally used, amazing feature about orders is the timeline. And so you can actually tag your staff, say that Julian is a really great customer and you want to add a different product. You can actually tag Julian and ask him to please add an extra jar of honey. And then you click post. I spelled extra wrong, but Julian will get it. And now you can see that the timeline's there. And you can see here like how it was paid. And then that way you can communicate with your staff. A lot of us are remote in the world. And so you can communicate with your staff without having to be in the same room. And you have a log of what you want for each order. I love that. Let's hop into products really quickly. So you can see here, you can add, remember, unlimited products. If you're bringing an existing brand online, I would just recommend that you start with whatever's going to be selling next. So I think you're in winter coming up. Sorry if I'm wrong. So sorry if I'm wrong. But say you're a clothing brand, you want to only upload what you are going to be selling. You don't necessarily want to upload your entire product catalog. But you can see here, let's quickly run through the product page. There is a title, your description. When you think of your description, I always like to think of descriptions with lifestyle description, which means how is the product going to feel? What is it? How is it going to change the customer's life when they have that product? You can sell services on Shopify. We were mainly based or like created as a product platform, but you can sell services. And then you've got your price. You can set it on sale. One of the cool things is you can actually enter the cost per item, and you can set where all this inventory is. If it's see how it says this is a physical product, you can uncheck that if it is not a physical product and you're selling just a service. And then you could also upload variants. So this could be different sizes of your product, different colors, and you can set different prices for each. Say you had like a small, medium, large, you can set like a jar of honey. You could set different prices depending on the size. And then very important at the bottom, one of the last things I'll point out is the product's SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization. You can see this is the search engine listing preview, and you can edit the website SEO. We're calling the store Lil Bees. And so I always recommend that you add a dash and your store's name so that when someone's Googling and you become a well-known store, people will click on your store first. All right. That was a speedy run through of this entire e-commerce platform.
You're a whiz. And we've already gotten comments like, Nikki, you're a great presenter. Thank you so much.
Well,
yes.
Thank you.
Because you are amazing. Thank you so much. And once we answer your questions, I'm going to rattle off some of the sessions that Julian has done in the past. So if you wanted to delve into some of these other things that he's done, you can have a look at them on the website. So here we go. Kia ora. I'm using the Oreo 8 theme and like it, but I'm really not liking the product page. Is there a way to change the layout of my themes product page more than if you go to themes, actions, edit theme? Ideally, I want all the vital info on one view without having to scroll. Maybe you answered that. I'm not sure.
Nope. The Oreo 8 theme is actually not a Shopify standard theme. So you'd have to contact the theme provider. So whoever made the theme, you'll want to contact them and ask them. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, for selling in different languages, how do you edit the theme for a different language? Maybe you covered that. Nope, there was so much I was jumping back because I missed some things that you were saying. So please, if you've answered it, just let me know. Yeah.
You bet. No. So the way that you edit it is actually, we have like an multi-language integration, and it'll automatically change it to the language. But if there's certain language, like if I were designing a store for New Zealand, I would have to be hip on the New Zealand slang. And so you can edit it in the language editor.
Yeah, you can actually, Julian talked about this in one of his sessions that was like changing the theme. Like it was a whole session on how to, like he really went in there and changed themes and he changed language. Like instead of having like a cart or something, he had a bin. Like if you wanted to change for certain language that was maybe it's more of an American version, you want to make it more Kiwi, you can totally do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So another kia ora, is there an advantage in having Shopify if I already have a WooCommerce shop on my website? Thank you.
Yeah. So WooCommerce is just another commerce version for WordPress. And if you already have your site up and running and it's working for you, don't mess with it. We're not advocates of Shopify just because we're advocates because it's going to help you. So if you're happy with WooCommerce, don't switch. But if you aren't happy with WooCommerce for some reason, just contact us and ask us if we help that reason, because I know I'm very biased to Shopify, but there are a lot of advantages. One of them being the ability to sell in a lot of sales channels.
Yeah, no, that's great. And we love the fact that you're like really, open to hearing all of these questions. And you guys know that when you do switch providers, you kind of lose a bit of your SEO ranking. So, like it's really important to remember that. Okay, so when you design for mobile, it changes my full screen website version as well. Is there a way to edit these separately, or does it depend on the theme you're using? Good question, Charlie.
That is an excellent question. So you actually are always in Shopify, you are always editing both your mobile version and your full desktop version. And that's because as a intermediate or new user, you don't really need to be designing for both separately. If you are an intermediate user and you understand how to use the code, so you can actually go into edit code and then just set up separate code for each experience. But we only recommend doing that. Yeah. We only recommend doing that if
but maybe that's you, Charlie.
If you're at an advanced stage, absolutely you can, but we just don't recommend it for a new user.
Yeah, cool. Great advice. Okay, another question here. My store speed bounces between 16 and 22 despite images being optimized, unnecessary apps removed. Anything else you recommend?
I would recommend chatting into our support, because what they can do is just go directly into your website and look and solution for you. So those things that you mentioned, the images, it's really important. The apps that you don't use, really important to get rid of. But if there's something specific that might be slowing stuff down, our support advisors will be able to find it.
Cool. Okay. Kia ora. We are starting an event and party hire business. Cool. Can Shopify be used to take payments for hiring rather than purchasing products?
Excellent question. Yes. I will caveat that Shopify was made as a product-based website. And so there are going to be some things like when I showed the product page, if you toggle off, this is a physical product, that way it won't toggle at checkout, it won't toggle for shipping. So you will want to just get granular with those settings, but you can absolutely, and there's some apps too, if you want to book for certain days online, you can actually add an app. It's not native with Shopify, but you can absolutely achieve it.
So many integrations with Shopify, it's crazy. Okay, can you have multi-locations as countries like NZ and AUS and have multi-currencies?
Yes. So this is a brand new thing to Shopify that you can actually sell in multiple currencies, and you can set that within your checkout section.
Okay, cool. Now, this question I feel like you've already answered, but I'm just going to, so that Janet knows that we see these questions, I will ask it.
Yeah.
If you need to talk to someone for support, how do you contact them? So you kind of showed that help station that you can get in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can go to help.shopify.com. And then we've made it a little bit, I'm going to say, I know this is recorded, but hopefully my bosses don't see it. I made it a little bit harder to get to a person, but just type in what you're looking for and then it'll pop up with the help pages for it. But then there'll be an option underneath to chat with us or phone in. And so I would do that. But also if you're at a point where you're ready to get really deep into your store, Shopify or Julian offers one-on-ones. And so if you go to Shopify, aotearoa.co.nz, you can actually see how to book one-on-one with him and all of his events as well.
And he's in the past allowed me to give people his email. So I've dropped that in the chat. And I think it's just julian.bartram@shopify.com.
That's the one.
For those of you that are watching this later, he's quite happy to field emails and get you going there. Oh, and then the question, why can't free trials start once your shop is ready?
Great question. And I have a spicy take on that. And it's because if you have a time limit, then you actually start to work on it. Because if you have all of the time in the world, so we actually, when COVID hit, we trialed 90-day trials. And we found that less people actually got started because they had too much time. And so if you have that 2 weeks, then you kind of know, okay, I got to get going on this. But also, hint, if you're at the 2 weeks and you aren't quite ready yet, you need 2 more weeks, just chat in and just ask for it.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to jump in here because I think that our Shopify offer is still valid. I just want to double check. So I just need to get onto the site. If you could waffle on for just a second while I get into our site. I'm sorry. Normally I do the waffling, but it's just like taking a moment to log in.
Not to worry. Yeah, I think actually with Digital Boost, there was an extended offer, but I just want to like make sure that you take advantage of that offer and use the time really wisely, especially because you have access to Julian as well to get you really set up. Yeah,
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm just logging in, but because we've got I was playing around with the new parts of the site, and so it's just kicking me around a little bit, so I apologize. Sometimes when I'm streaming on so many platforms as well, it just takes like a minute for everything to kind of load up. Okay, provider offers. So this is actually a great segue for me to say that if you are streaming with us live on one of the other platforms, then you are not getting access to the provider offers that we have. So, and somebody asked me the other day, they didn't know where they were. When you log into Digital Boost and you scroll down, there is actually a thing that says provider offers, and it's got a blue here. And if you click on that, you get access to it. Okay, I've got it here. So get your business online today. Try Shopify free for an extended 30-day trial, no credit card required. Now that is an offer that is extended to anyone who is a Digital Boost registrant. You can find that on the main dashboard of the Digital Boost page. Go to provider offers and you get there, and you can have a chat with Julian if you need to. That email's there. Question. Hi there. I'm virtually illiterate when it comes to operating my laptop and working with Windows. Well, that's okay. Look, that's why we're here. This is why we're here. Is there a way to practice with Shopify store? I feel 2 weeks is nowhere near long enough for me to design a logo, find a product and get it made, build my store. So this question probably came in. Yeah. Okay. While I was doing that, it's been answered. Yep. Yeah. So try that 30-day trial. And if you need somebody to help you with a logo or something like that, maybe this is something that you outsource. Right? Like we don't have to be experts at everything. And, maybe that's not your gig. You can use websites like Fiverr, which is Fiverr. And you can access graphic designers through there. You could also use Canva, and they've got some really good templates that you could use. You can also use a Kiwi Canva that we have here, Nikki. It's pretty cool. It's called Design Space, and that was originally made by a guy who was in graphic design for 25 years, well, in printing for 25 years, and has built basically a Canva, but it's Kiwi owned. So it's got a lot of Kiwi graphics and things like that. And it's almost like if you took Adobe Illustrator and you combined it with Canva. So it's got like a little bit more capabilities. Yeah, and you have a link for him. I will get you that link for, did you want the Design Space link or which link was that? Okay. Shopify didn't know about the special 30-day trial when I started my store. So I was given 14-day trial. Is there
I would just chat in to support and just let them know, because there's not a way that you can do it, unfortunately, like on your own, but we can do that on our end.
Yeah, cool. So that's really great news. Could you share that link to everyone? Because you shared it to me, but can't seem to copy paste in the chat. Yeah, cool. Thanks. All right. It's looking like we're getting through those questions. And what I want to do now is just tell you the other sessions that Julian has already done, because I think a lot of you guys came on board a little bit later, and there's some really great content. And now with the search feature on the site, you can easily find this content. So I'm going to tell you what we have. We've got Shopify settings explained. We've got a guided tour. Oh, yeah. a guided tour of Shopify theme editor. That's the one I was talking to, where he really goes in and changes the colors and he looks at all of that. We had a session called 12 actionable takeaways you can use to set up, power up, and optimize your online store. He did a session called Optimize Your Landing Page for Conversions. And then we've had, then he did a session called this is not from him, actually. This is from a company called Frankie AI. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Like, it's an integration with Shopify. So what it does is it actually like recommends lots of products. If you click on a product, it'll give you all these recommendations of other products you might like. And that's an integration. That was called E-commerce Myths Busted, Shopify Store Insights, with Tom Murphy from Frankie AI. And that's it. Yeah, that's what we have. So those were some really great sessions. I mean, Julian always shows up, you know what I mean? Like, with some really great sessions, and they're really easy to watch. You guys must just like breed great presenters, because that's how you roll. So I recommend you guys just type in Shopify into the site and just have a look at some of those Q&A sessions. And there's also other content on there as well. Heaps of assistance for you from the Shopify team. And as per usual, this has been a great session. Thank you so much, Nikki, for joining us from Canada, from Canada. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's always lovely to get like a new accent on here, a new face, I love that. It says, that was fantastic, Nikki. Thank you very much. And we had another thank you up there. Was, thanks, Nikki. You're an awesome presenter. Thanks for sharing your knowledge and enthusiasm. Thank you so much. Lots of useful info.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Ka kite, everyone. Stay safe. Kia kaha, if you're in Tamaki Makaurau and you're still in lockdown, stay strong and reach out for support if you need to Clearhead. You have free access to that mental health service as you're a part of Digital Boost. Yeah, so yeah, namihi, everyone. See you, Nikki. Have a wonderful day.